For the past 7 years, I've been playing with the exact same family across two different challenges in The Sims 4, Not So Berry Challenge and Career Legacy, that I literally just got to Generation 20, where they're studying to become a lawyer in university while destroying marriages and having 3 kids. And honestly, I'm having the most fun with it that I had to build them a brand new house specifically just for them. So when I tell you I've been playing with the same family for 20 generations, I literally am telling the truth because I started with Not So Berry in 2017. It was created by Little Simsy and Always Simming. I did all 10 gens, and then I got so sentimental that I want to do 3 extra gens that I found from my friend Nixel, who created 3 extra gens for that challenge. And then I got super attached to my Sims that I wanted to do another challenge, but with the same family. And so I came across my friend Rochella, who created the Career Legacy Challenge, where every generation is a different career in The Sims 4, which I find a really cool, like, creative way because I don't really play with all the careers, and I always have a hard time figuring out what I could do with each one based off of a storyline. And Rochella made it a really, really good, easy, and fun, and chaotic and creative way for me to like play The Sims 4 a little bit differently. And so if you want to check out the Career Legacy or Not So Berry, I will link them both down below, along with the playlist that I have for all 20 generations that I'm currently playing right now. Because I feel like Not So Berry, not only back in 2017, was so inspirational and monumental that I didn't realize that playing The Sims 4 this way was actually gonna be really fun. But as I played more and more generations, it became my safe haven and it also became like one of my most beloved families I've played in so many years. Like I've never had this many generations in my Sims life in the past 24 years. And if it wasn't for challenges like this, I probably would have not like continued on with it or had this many generations. Like the most I've had without doing a challenge is like 4 or 5 for my own fun, chaotic gameplay. But this is very, very fun. Now for this generation, I had to roll for the career and I rolled to become a lawyer. And based off of each generation, you have to roll on how many kids you're supposed to have, except you can't have the same number of kids that you had in the previous generation. And so I rolled to have 3 kids, which is kind of like my limit. But I will say in the past generations, I've had like 5, 4, and I was straight up too overwhelmed that I'm like, can we not have any more kids ever again? But I think also too, in the past generations, I've had occult children, more specifically werewolf children, which made the household a little bit more crazy and chaotic. And I don't like playing with occults, especially when I cannot control all of them and micromanage and like just have them do what I want to do at the end of the day. And I was like, let me just cut this line immediately. So I was like, no more werewolves ever again. I am cutting the family lineage werewolf gene forever. And I'm glad that I did that. But knowing that I have to be a lawyer and I have to destroy relationships with the villainous Valentine aspiration and have 3 kids, it's kind of reminding me of like the Black Widow challenge in a way, but also the Red Generation from Not So Berry, where you're basically a serial romantic sim who has to go on different dates. And it's kind of like cheating, but you're also like trying to find the one for you. Because I'm pretty sure at the end of Generation 2 for Not So Berry, you have to marry as an elder. And I kind of like how Gen 2 is kind of like Generation 20. So 18 generations between each other, but it's like full circle moment. And looking back at all the different Sims, they do not look anything alike. Span across 20 generations, the genetics have changed dramatically because my Sims have had kids with other Sims like Roy from the Werewolf Pack. I've had a kid, I think was Caleb Vitor at one point. So a lot of different Sims were being born across generations and genetics got a little bit weird and wonky, but I managed it pretty well. Um, but for this generation, I have to be a lawyer and I have to reach level 10 of the lawyer career from either branch, reach level 10 of the research and debate skill and either logic or charisma skill based off of the branch that I'm doing. And then the optional side quest is the villainous Valentine aspiration, ruin other Sims marriages. It's time to be a home wrecker. Now, if you don't watch my streams or you just didn't know about me in general, I'm a wholesome family game player. I'll play like a household for like a generation of like 2 or 3, maybe even 4 if I'm lucky. But then I'm like sitting here thinking, I'm a little bit bored. I want to cause some chaos, but I don't know how to do it. So I'm like, let's find a married sim or a sim that's in a relationship with multiple people that wouldn't have any issues of being jealous or causing a scene, and they would just go along with it. So that's what I do. I get a little bit bored and a little bit antsy, and like, I want to be a homewrecker. I want to cause chaos, and I want to have a very interesting family tree with interesting relationship dynamics and family dynamics, just to see what I can possibly do. And it all works out well in the end. I mean, I get what I want. My Sims are happy, sometimes rich, sometimes married, but for the other Sims, not so much. However, I've had a few instances, some karma, where I didn't realize that some of the Sims I was dating in The Sims were married, I didn't know they had kids. I didn't know the significant other was pregnant. I didn't know any of that. I'm like, you're married. Let's get together and move on. And I'm like, oh, I'm out here breaking up marriages, families, people being lonesome, like single parents. Like, I'm just out here messing, ruining people's lives. But then I did what I did and I moved on. However, I'm not like that in real life at all. I am the most introverted, socially awkward, and anxious person you'll ever meet in person. I would like to stay home by myself for several weeks and be perfectly fine with my little sim characters and my Animal Crossing and my Stardew, and I am content. So, I thought playing as a lawyer, it made a lot of sense because we're a lawyer by day and we're researching law, but by night we're partying and destroying relationships. And my sim is currently university because I thought one way to kind of get higher in my career levels and my skills and kind of knock out my aspiration and the kid requirement is by going through university and studying, get higher in my levels, get more money. I can move out, upgrade the house a little bit more, and this is kind of like a getting a bang for your buck. And I just want to kind of rediscover university a little bit more just to see what it has to offer for a different degree path and also just dating the professors because they added in a patch during like Love Struck where you can now go on dates with your professors like you could do before, but this time they won't run away, which I think is a great idea because you can say, "Hey, Mr. Johnson, hey, Mrs. Smith, do you want to go out on a lunch, date, whatever, get together, hang out to discuss this term's paper?" And like you can't run away now. You're already in too deep. You got to stay with me until the end of the day if I extended or you just ended abruptly. But I really am very excited to dive deep into all of this messiness because we are getting very close to ending our aspiration to start doing the baby requirement. We're in our second semester and we're doing 4 classes each so that way we can be done a little bit quicker. But I did this penthouse apartment type of style where it's only like 3 bedrooms, I believe, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. There's a bathroom downstairs and a bathroom upstairs, but I kept mainly the second level very empty with only having the bathroom furnished because I didn't want to have too much stuff where my sim was never going to use it and I'm wasting a lot of money for no reason. So I'm going to only decorate it as I go until I have the kids and until I get married in The Sims, if my sim gets married, because half the time, all of my sims are very single, like a Pringle, like me. But I had so much fun, and it kind of makes me want to build a house for every career in The Sims 4 because every career is so different, like astronauts, lawyers, artists, gardeners, like the military. Like, there's so many careers that we have that I still have not explored that I want to build houses for. And I might make a series out of it where every house is a different career. And I think we have like over 26, 20, like 30 different careers in The Sims 4. If you have all the packs, there's a lot, especially the freelancer careers. There's just so much. But I find it very like interesting and creative if you're doing something related to like career legacy, or you're doing where every generation's a different career aspiration, or a different story where your Sims move to one town to another town, or they stay in the same town for all their life. Like, for example, for generation 6 of the Not So Berry Challenge, it's the orange generation, and you can't leave your needs TLC apartment until you're an adult, which I think is a really cool like way where you're still navigating being a criminal, but you're also wanting to keep it on the down low that you're a criminal and you're stealing people's like money or whatever. And then you get a bit older, you have kids, and then you're like, oh, I'm a little bit better now. I'm more grown, more mature. Let's leave this needs TLC apartment to go somewhere else. I will say though, when I did Not So Berry for Gen 6, at that time, my save file was so glitchy to the point where I could not play it anymore. So I had to take Gen 5, 6, and 7 and her little kids to a fresh new save file. So I have two save files with like one has 6 and this other one that I'm currently playing right now has Gen 6 to Gen 20. So I have 14 generations currently in this save file. And I'm very surprised that it's still like not glitchy as crazy or like crashing my game, which I'm glad because I have no time and no patience to move to a fresh new save. However, I think I'm a little bit more smarter now because I don't have as many mods as I used to. I'm deleting CC out of my game that I don't really use that often. And also, I'm a little bit smarter of not building overly cluttered apartment houses, especially in a very cluttered, bogged down save file, if you know what I mean. I guess what I'm saying basically is that if you are stuck with gameplay and you want to try something new, I highly recommend Not So Berry or Career Legacy. They're very low key, they're like not overly stressful. It doesn't really require all the packs. I mean, if you're doing Career Legacy, it's every single career in The Sims 4, but luckily on Rochelle's website, there's like a little toggle where you can select what packs you have, and it only goes off of like the packs that you have, which I think is really, really cool. Whereas Not So Berry, in the very beginning, there's only, I think, Get to Work, City Living, and then maybe one other expansion pack, but I'm pretty sure it's only base game, Get to Work, and City Living that you all need to complete all 10 generations. But if you want to add extra stuff, change some rules around, go for it. I think at the end of the day, every person who makes a challenge is like, once you do it, you play with it how you want, have fun. Because I think if you overly stress over the rules and all the other things that goes into it, you probably won't have fun. And I think The Sims is all about having fun with what you do. And for me, when I played Not So Berry in the beginning, I kind of followed the rules, but as I kind of started to play a little bit more, I tweaked a little few things to make it like my own, where I was having fun, but still following like the general basic rules, if that makes sense. Because at the end of the day, it's my game. I like to play how I play. If I use mods, if I don't use mods, if I use custom content, or if I don't use custom content, if I move my sim like 5 different times, I'll do that. I did that with the Mint generation where we lived in Windenburg, and then I think we lived in Willow Creek for a hot minute, and Newcrest. Like, we moved 3 different times because I was so bored living in the same house, and we just kind of outgrew it because we kept having more kids because my sim got abducted by an alien, and then I cloned the kids. It was a hot mess express that I just don't want to get into right now, but I am having the most fun with gameplay, especially that I'm doing it with you all on Twitch. And with YouTube, I haven't posted any gameplay in a while because I've been fixing all of my mods that need, fixing. So gameplay is coming back to YouTube, and I'm very excited because I have, I think, 2 or 3 different videos that revolve around gameplay for my current households, and also a brand new Let's Play, which I'm very, very excited because I've been working really hard on it, and no one knows about it except a few people, but I think you all will definitely love this new Let's Play that I'm creating. But anyway, moving forward, I think overall, this is probably my favorite penthouse I've ever built in the new world. And I've only ever built one penthouse, but I also feel like a big high-rise apartment building and you're living basically in the sky is like, what do you build that makes sense at the end of the day? Like, I would never build like an actual suburban home on a penthouse, area. I did that one time when we got, I think, City Living. And I didn't know what I was doing back then. Now I feel like I do, because logically, no one would ever have a house that big, that large on a high-rise building. I mean, some people will, but overall, I'm going to go ahead and go into the game and show you all the entire penthouse in real time. So that way you can kind of get a general idea of what I was doing. And plus I want to show you the family tree that I have in this actual save, so you can see how chaotic it is as of right now. So before I tour the house, I want to show off the sim that I'm currently playing with alongside with their family tree. But our sim here, Charlotte Berry, is Gen 20 of the Berry lineage, and he currently has had a lot of relationships with a lot of people. We've been breaking up relationships, marriages, finding out certain sims were pregnant and had kids, and I just kind of forgot and left immediately after breaking up their relationship, of course. He has the Villainous Valentine aspiration. We're on the last level. There's only one level, and we have to break up 5 more couples, and then we're completely done. And then we get the Twisted Heart reward trait, which I've never had before in this game. But for his family tree, though, he has a very long lineage. Currently, right now, Charlotte Berry is in university. His father is Alex Berry from Generation 19. His father was Bentley Ghostberry, who was a werewolf. Bentley's father and mother was Porcupine Brown, an NPC sim, but the mother, Crystal Brown, who was a werewolf. Crystal Brown's father was Winston Trev Ghostberry, which was wild. And then Winston's father was Frederick Greenleeberry back in the heyday of life. And then Frederick's father was Nathan Oakley Greenleeberry. Now, Nathan kind of started career legacy for all of us, because before Nathan was Renesmee Buffy Greenleeberry, who was Generation 13 of Not So Berry Challenge back then. But it kind of started. What was so weird is that Renesmee's mother was Bella Gibbons, but Bella's mother was Rory from the Werewolf Pack, but father was Judd Berry. Now, Judd Berry was a human, Rory was a werewolf. So that kind of made sense why Bella was a werewolf, but it made no sense why Renesmee was a vampire to begin with. I have no recollection of how that happened, really. But when Renesmee had a baby with her significant other, we had a baby named Nathan Oakley Greenleeberry. Here I thinking he was just going to be a vampire. Perfectly fine. He ended up being a random hybrid between a werewolf and a vampire. It done glitched my game so bad to the point where I could not see him. He was literally invisible. So I had to cure his vampirism and his werewolf gene, so that way no longer my game would glitch, but it was messy. He had some Bugs Bunny looking ears, and it was crazy. But as we make our way onto the inside, we have our foyer area with our little trash can. We have a little mirror here with our axolotl, megaphone, some flowers, a collage frame so we can put our photos in there later. I really do love our kitchen. I wanted to keep the entire penthouse area very simple and not too overly cluttered, because I knew over time I was going to get more money and we'll have kids, and I would decorate it over time to fit the style of what we're trying to go for. Plus, we only got 11,000 simoleons, so we ain't that rich right now. So we were balling on a budget. But the kitchen looks pretty good. We also have a little compact bar here. Our little living room with our fireplace, gaming console, and art TV. But as we make our way over to our bedroom, this is where Charlotte Berry sleeps. It is a very small, compact bedroom. He is one sim, doesn't have a lot of relationships that are stable. Plus, he has no kids to really change his living style just yet. So I wanted to keep it very simple and easy and small. So we have a nice little double bed. We have their hamper, some posters, an aircon unit, of course, a tissue box, some other boxes, some magazines, and some other pictures on the wall. We have their bathroom in here with a shower tub combo. We have their toilets, their sink, and then their cabinet. Something I wish we could probably do with these cabinets one day in the future, where they're interactive and we can get medicine out of them, because they're technically medicine cabinets in a way. So it would be cool if we could utilize them as they're described, hopefully in the future of The Sims 4, but until then we shall wait. But bathrooms are not my strongest suit, but I made do with what I had. But as we make our way upstairs, we have the general like 2 bedrooms. I was thinking this could be like a nursery area and this could be like another extra bedroom for some other reason, because we're gonna have 3 kids in this generation. So I wanted to make enough room for everyone until they decide to move out. Because I might eventually like move this like outdoor fire pit downstairs, or just completely delete it and then just make this area just for seating, homework area, whatever it might be. Because I was struggling on what I wanted to do with this top part, because I had originally put this down here, but it just didn't make any sense, so moved it around a little bit. But we have 2 bedrooms upstairs, a bathroom, and then a general open looking down from the 2nd floor to the 1st floor, and a little treadmill. And then outside we have another treadmill with a punching bag. We also have our washer tub and clothesline with our basketball court, bikes, recycling bin, ping pong table, keg stand, our general outdoor cooking, grilling area, a little side pool. We also have our patio table, our hot tub, and then over here, I wanted to make like a outdoor garden shed, because I never really do them that often, but I wanted to have Generation 20 to have something, grow their own produce, get into the garden idea. Because usually I don't roll for the next gen until we have the last kid and they get a little bit older, and then we can decide what skills to work on early on and where they should live next. Because right now we only have, I think, maybe 3 or 4 generations left until we're completely done with career legacy, and then we move on to the next challenge afterwards. So I'm kind of figuring out as I go, but you all give me ideas and suggestions on what I could do next, and it's super, super helpful. But overall, if you do want to download this build for whatever reason for your own game, it's already up on the gallery under the hashtag SpringSims or my gallery ID SpringSims. But as always, I do hope you all enjoyed today's video as much as I did. Please let me know down in the comments below, how many generations have you had in The Sims 4 or just in The Sims in general? But as always, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all next time. Bye!